Friday. Welcome back to Korea's Best Show. And I'm joined here by Mr. Javier Kerii. He is in our front page of Careers publication today. If you want to get to read more about him, grab our dailies, the Namibian Sun, the Allgemeine Zeitung, as well as Republican. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very well.
Thank you for joining us in studio.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing me here.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Can you briefly tell our viewers what KAD is and when was it established?
Okay, KAD is an abbreviation for KAD Architects and Designers. It was established in 2018 and it more became formal in 2019. We are 3 years in business. KAD Architects specialize in commercial projects, industrial as well as institutional and residential. And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how has this journey been for you so far? Like, it's your company, you're
Yes.
the founder.
Yes.
So how has that been so far?
The journey of having a practice is very difficult because it's almost baby steps and it's quite challenging, especially in the time of COVID and then the economical downturn we had.
Yes.
But in terms of day-to-day running of the business, every day you learn something new where it comes to human resources as well as the clientele that you have to always engage with.
Yeah, so can you mention a few accomplishments?
Yes. Of the business.
Of the business, yes.
Yes, we have completed a number of projects as a business and we started off as a two-man show. Now we are at 5 people.
Okay.
So that is for us an accomplishment, and also the growth is almost inevitable, especially if you provide good service to the clients.
Yes.
They always come back with fewer and much bigger projects.
Yes.
That's for us a big accomplishment in terms of that. Yeah.
So with accomplishments, there comes challenges as well.
Yes.
So can you mention a few and how have you overcame those challenges you faced?
The challenges we face is mostly because every backbone of the business is finance. We always have a finance challenge, but we overcome it. And other challenges includes clientele. You have to almost learn to deal with people, which is one of the things that we were never really taught in school.
Yes.
So one has to almost meander around things, especially when it comes to clients and where there's small mistakes on site and where there's small mistakes on drawings. But we learn as we go, and our goal is always to perfect and to improve services.
Great.
Yeah.
So what are your short-term goals for your practice, in the next 2 years or so?
Yeah, short-term goals, one of my passion is also mentoring. So my short-term goals is always to try and expand the internship program at our firm, which we are currently doing, but at a very snail pace because of the economical downturn. We want to introduce a much bigger internship program so that we can take 2 or 3 students at a time to 5 students, and we mentor them, and then we perfect that, because I've seen that on other companies, and it's one of the vehicles that also bring good, it's almost, the mentorship become almost a sort of an interview as well. Then you can also see how the students perform, how they react to things and stuff. And our other goals is also that due to the narrative of the economy and how everything is becoming intertwined, we are looking at models of other practices in South Africa, in Europe, in Australia, and we feel like those models sometimes we have to start incorporating in our small economies, such as having graphics designers on board, or having interior designers, having finisher designers, because I feel like the field of architecture it was broad, but now it's almost being trimmed down, and we have to almost bring it back
again.
Yeah, so that we can also capture more market and stuff.
That's good. So when it comes to KAD, what are you most proud of?
What
Because
I'm
it's like your little baby, you know.
what I'm most proud of is that it's a company. When you start a company, it's almost something that is so small, but it grows to become what we call a monster. And sometimes the growth is inevitable. Sometimes you will think people are not talking about you, or they are not talking about business, but they are in the background, watching how you do business and watching the way you deal with clients. So the thing I'm proud of is that we always strive to improve. We always, when clients have a bit of a problem here and there, we always try and make that our almost a priority, so that the client will not have that dissatisfaction, because losing one client to us, it's like that word goes in the street. So the things that we are really proud of is the narrative of always trying to make sure our clients are satisfied, because they are the backbone of the practice. Yes.
So we spoke about your baby, KAD. So I want to know a little bit more about you. You know, your educational background before you started KAD. Where were you working? If you could just briefly tell us about that.
Okay. My educational background, I started in a small village of Coplands in Ochodonjupa region. That's where I finished my high school. I was raised by a single mom, because my dad passed on when I was 12, and then I came to Concordia College, and I stayed in almost hostel. Yes. And most who can remember me will always remember our hostel days. And that's where I finished at Concordia. And I enrolled at the engineering school at Poly, but my sentiment was that every time the math teacher would speak about math, I would always draw a small house plan at the back of the book. So then my brother came in and said, but don't you want to go to South Africa? Because that time he was starting QSing, Mr. Get. So then we looked at possibilities of going, and we applied for the bursary, and I got a government loan, and then off we went to South Africa. That's where I completed my BTech in architecture, and that also opened doors, because I was the top student of the year, and I was also the top student over 4 years of studies, and I was then admitted at the University of Free State, where I completed my master's also with distinction in design. And then when I came back, I worked for Mali Shisho Architects, and then I went to Kamau Architects, where I worked for the past 6 years before I started, 5 years or so, before I started my practice.
Interesting.
Yes.
So what is Mr. Kerii up to when you're not at work, or, drawing plans? What do you do in your free time?
I think what I do in my free time, I like traveling a bit here and there where I can afford, because affordability is also one of the things. And I also I enjoy camping, but mostly I'm on the farm every other weekend. We are doing a number of small irrigation and poultry and farming. So I also enjoy farming a lot. I enjoy being on the farm.
Interesting. So if you guys read our Zone publication that came out Tuesday, the word of the day was Kampala.
Yes.
So what do you think that means? If you hear like Kampala, the word Kampala, it's like slang. What do you think that means?
I think
you can just try.
Kampala for me maybe means careers, or because I know it's a town somewhere, but
but like in the Zone, it's like a slang, for the youth, what we use around each other. So if you hear someone's like, oh, just Kampala, what do you think that person means?
Maybe he's saying calm down.
Yes, wait.
Wait and calm down. Okay.
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Kerii. Now you know a new word.
Yes, I've learned something
Yes,
today.
That's right. Well, we have to say goodbye.
Yes.
It has come to an end, guys. I really enjoyed interviewing you, and I loved the article. You guys should grab our dailies, Namibian Sun, Allgemeine Zeitung, and Republican, so you can find our careers publication inside and read more about KAD and Mr. Kerii. Once again, thank you.
Thank you
and
very
I wish
much.
you nothing but the best.
Thank you very much.
My name is Monique Adams. This is Career Bistro. See you again next time. Bye.